Hello again, everyone. Michael here with Felicity, November 8033 Foxtrot, a Cessna flight training device that I built right here at home. We aren't going to have time to fly this evening, so we're going to do something a little bit different, not something I normally do on the stream, but we are going to develop a X-Plane airport real quick. It is a small grass strip that is currently closed. But it is still a sort of a BFR landmark in the area, and I guess technically the strip could still be used as an emergency landing point if necessary. I came about this small strip. What I'm doing and what I've been doing a lot lately is going through a lot of the airports that are local to me, especially the grass strips and the 2D airports that haven't been developed yet, and going through and trying to knock as many out as I can, especially the ones that are local to me, because I do a lot of flying in this area. So I came across a couple earlier that were actually closed in real life and submitted them as closed, but there was one I came across that technically is closed, but as I said, it's still technically available, and I suppose you could use it if absolutely necessary. It's rough, I'll be honest, it's a very rough runway. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to develop that one for X-Plane, and we're going to ensure compatibility with X-Plane 11, and once we do that, we know it'll be compatible with 12. So let's bear with me as I try to do this here. Let's head over to the let's see. This may look kind of weird because I'm going to have to do a full display capture. Maybe not. Let me try. We'll just try it like this. Bear with me, it might look a little bit funny. Okay, we'll do that, and then hopefully I can change this. Yeah, I can't change it while streaming. Alright, so we're going to try this a different way. Alright, sorry about that. We'll try over here, and then see if I can bring up this source here. Window capture. And then I want name's already in use. Firefox. There it is. Okay. Let's see if I did this right. Okay. Looks like it can. It looks like I got it mostly right. Let's see here. The problem is my display is 4K, and I stream everything in 1920. So I can't really stream my full display because it's set up for 1920. So I have to kind of do it per application and or window basis. So from here, let's head over to the gateway, and because I forget the name of the X-Plane identifier for the airport in question, and my artist page, bug reports. And let's see, was it? I only did 2 today, so it wasn't that one. I'll spin this most recent one. Still visible as a landmark. Please resubmit to gateway airport name prefixed by an X. So we are going to develop this airport. We're going to develop it as a closed airport. It shouldn't take us too long. So let's write that down. 820I. Okay. That's all I need from there right now. So now let's see, add another source here. Let's see, display capture, game capture, media source, window capture, and we'll create a new one. We'll call it plane maker. I'm sorry, web. Okay. There we have web. Oh. And we were looking for 820i. So we'll create a new scenery pack, 820i. And the name of this one was I forget here. Alright, we're just gonna copy that. Julian was kind enough to put the X in on his end, so we'll go ahead and do that now. 820i J-M farm. Alright. Enable to rename package. Alright, we'll try this again. Okay. Weird. Alright, let me open that back up. Okay. There it is. 820i. Well, let's try it without the brackets. Unknown error. Unable to rename scenery package. Alright, that's fine. We'll just create a new one. And then I'll delete that folder later. Don't have time to mess with that. Unable to rename. Okay. .820i. Alright, so that worked. What isn't working here? Okay. Oh, there was an extra space in there. Alright, so we'll bracket that, close that, bracket that. There it is. Okay. Alright, so now that we have our new scenery pack folder named in WED, we'll go ahead and open this up. And I may have to, let's see here. Oh, go here, go here. That's not what I want. Then we're going to add another source. Okay, that should work. So best case scenario is that you can see WED full screen. Looks like it. Alright, here we go. Let's move this over here. Move this over here. Right, here we are in World Editor 2.4. We are still using 2.4 because I'm still doing them for X-Plane 11 as well as X-Plane 12. X-Plane 11 will not open anything done with World Editor 2.5. So. And it's not working right. Okay. Alright. Bear with me for a moment. I apologize. This is my first time attempting to stream from. Okay. Alright, so that's a problem. Just can't see it fully. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and import from the X-Plane Scenery Gateway. And our airport was 820I. And I apologize that you can't see the import window. It's just another source. Alright, but there we have it. Here we have our airstrip that we're going to be working on. What I want to do is hop on over into X-Plane 11 and see what it looks like by default. That'll give us an idea of what we have to exclude when we go and build our airport here. So let's see if I can bring up X-Plane. Let me start X-Plane and we'll see if we can stream X-Plane. That's the problem. Okay. Don't think that's gonna work unless I switch over. Alright, you'll probably be seeing a black screen right now and hopefully at least hearing me. And then let me start X-plane and see what happens. And it still doesn't appear like that's going up. Alright, maybe. We're just not gonna see the whole thing unless I change our graphics down to, let's try 1920 by 1080, which is our streaming resolution. Oh, I think I just broke X-plane. Oh no, I think I just broke it all together. No. Alright, so that did not work out as planned. So I do apologize. Let's see, how can I do this? So I've confirmed that I can at least stream WED. So let's just work with that for now. And then let's see. And then I'm going to add one more source. And we're going to call this WED 3. Alright. So this here is a WED preview window. When you build an airport, you can kind of get a 3D preview of what it is that you are building. Comes in handy as opposed to having to start up X-plane every time. What I want to do, let's see, man, it'd be so much easier. Alright, so let's get rid of that for now. Okay. It would be so much easier if I had a secondary display that I could run the streaming software on, then stream the whole primary display. But what we're looking at is a top-down view of this airport, or what is left of the airport. The former runway is now closed and used as farmland. This arc imagery is rather dated. So here shortly we will take a quick look at Google Earth. We cannot use Google Earth to draw the airport due to copyright reasons. We can, however, use Google Earth to as a visual reference to kind of see what objects are. So for that purpose, we can use Google Earth. Alright, where do we want to begin? I always begin with the airport boundary. You know what, I guess we can test X-Plane 11. We can actually test it in the simulator. I always start with the airport boundary. There's going to be no objects, nothing outside of the airport boundary. We are in WED 2.4. WED 2.5 is relatively the same. Keep in mind that for X-Plane 12, when you create your boundary, that's where the autogen stops and the airport grass begins. So we zoom in and kind of see a fence here. Relatively long driveway. Like another fence, long driveway. It's like a pretty big ranch style house. Possibly maybe a swimming pool here, maybe a propane tank. I would say at one point in time a hangar, or at least where an aircraft was hangared at. So I would imagine that all of this would be included in the boundary. Because if we're gonna do this and build a closed airport. So we will start our boundary right about here. We'll bring it over to here, and we can refine this later. I just want to get it kind of roughed out. Probably will include the fence. So we'll kind of come up to maybe there. And then we will bring it over. And then I guess that pond would technically be but that's alright. We'll go up here. I guess it'd be nice to know what the actual property line was. Because then I would be able to just mark that boundary. But it looks like there's like a little boathouse there, possibly a dock. Yeah, we'll include it. Worst that happens is he'll reject it and tell me that the airport does not confine within the boundaries as seen at the satellite data. So don't know if I want to include that in the boundary, because when they cut the new mesh, I don't know if that will eliminate that pond. So let's not. However, let's include some of that tree line, so we can put that on the approach. And remember, we can refine this later. All right. So there's our boundary. Remember, we have nothing outside of our boundary. Tell you what, let's bring our boundary out, and then we can include this whole row of trees in our airport design. This will make it interesting for those that may wish to utilize it. Alright, I think that'll work. We're going to get rid of this wind indicator. We got no wind indicators on the field. We're going to get rid of this one as well. All default 2D airports in X-Plane come with 2 wind indicators. Now, let's see what we can find out about JM Farm. So to do that, I'm going to go back over here. Click on here. All right. JM Farm Airport. Oh, let's see. E20I, latitude, longitude, nothing really there. However, runway 15 and 33. So that's gonna be good to know, because we don't have that information because this airport is closed. Runway 15 and 33. Yep, nothing really there to help us out at all, other than runway 15 and 33. Let's see, I did that wrong here. Bear with me just a second. There it is. That's what I wanted. Alright. So what data is there in here about this airport? Absolutely nothing. So let's add our latitude and longitude in there, which we observed 40.154. And then our longitude we observed was minus 83.275, or 83.275 west. We're going to make this one 3D. I'm not really going to put much more in there. I don't know if that's technically considered Columbus. That is technically I guess it is Columbus. They're calling it Plain City. It's Plain City to me. Let's see here. The mailing address might have been Columbus, but that is definitely Plain City area. So we're going to leave it as Columbus. That's what it was originally charted as. That's exactly how we're going to leave it. We're not going to mess with the metadata at all. We will, however... Edmund Stoner, hello. I'm working on a small local grass strip here in central Ohio. I was going through the scenery, the global airports in the X-plane, and going through and removing ones that were no longer valid, and building ones that are still there. But this one's kind of unique because the airport is actually closed, but it is technically still there. So we're building a closed airport here. And let me just go down over here. And let's see. I'm looking at another map source here real quick. Okay, 23, 33, 42. Alright. Current field elevation there is 1,030 feet. And I grabbed that off of my ForeFlight. So 1,030 feet is our field elevation. I don't think we can actually put any of their metadata in there. We will, however, prefix our airport name with an X. So that way that we know that's closed. So we got our boundary created. Let's get this runway aligned. That's always important. If I bring this down here, and if I'm going based on my ortho or the ESRI, we know that runway is a bit wide. It may have been charted at 100 feet. But for X-plane purposes, let's make it 80 feet. 80 feet wide seems to fit better. And it was obviously never that long, because it was just 80 feet wide. That ought to suffice. That might be too long there. Alright, let's terminate the runway right there. But I don't like that. It's a grass runway. It is. This is an airstrip that's old. It's debunked. It's been used for crops. Let me see if let's see if I can bring up another source real quick here. Let's see. There we go. Actually, that's not what I want. And bear with me here. I'm gonna turn this off. Add another window. Earth. There we go. Okay. So hopefully you all can see Google Earth. And those coordinates, we're just going to search for this by coordinates 40.15 and then minus 83.27. Let's have Google Earth take us there. Edmund Stoner also built a closed airport, 1 Charlie 2. If it's on the gateway, I might have to check that one out. Alright, so here is Google Earth. And if we look at our runway, let me try and zoom in on this. It's been plowed. It's cropland. So if landing there, it's gonna be rough. While we have Google Earth pulled up, let's take a look here and see what we got. So definitely looks like a hangar there, or what might have been a hangar. So I'm trying to, let me try and center that a bit better. No, that didn't work. Alright, let me try. There we go. That might have worked. Alright. Yep, the taxiway sure does. It has a basketball court on it. So it looks like there was a hangar here at one point. Well, the hangar is still there. I see a concrete apron area. Looks like asphalt. Definitely has a basketball hoop. I'm not sure if what has a basketball hoop, but I'm definitely gonna look for it. There's certainly a swimming pool. Looks like we've got an L-shaped ranch with a deck. Yeah, so yeah, it shouldn't be too bad. We did not include the pond. That's probably a propane tank behind the hangar there. Okay. Alright, I think that's enough for us to get started back in WED. So let me minimize that. Bring this back up. Switch back over to here. And then now we're back in WED. Right? Okay. Here we are. What do we got? We got a pool. I'm not gonna, this isn't gonna be one of my best ones. I'm not gonna spend a whole lot of time on a closed airport. Got a ranch. And after you do so many airports, you get to kind of know a lot of the names of the objects, to kind of know what to search for. So we've got an L ranch. Well, let's look for a Z ranch. Might be good. That's more of an L ranch. Okay. We want a right hand though. There we go. That'd probably work. Let's see what else do we got. We're gonna put that right there. It's kind of small. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. Yeah. There we go. That's what we want. We're just going to move that. Put that right about there. And of course, no swimming pool is complete without a apron around it. So let's go pick a concrete texture. We'll go with 6L, which is my favorite for anything sidewalk related. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, there's kind of a square. Control Q with the polygon selected will even the shape up, be it a rectangle. It'll polygonize. However, I don't know what the term is. It'll make it even. That's the best way I can put it. It'll kind of even out the shape. So we see here that we've got a nice square, but I see that my lines, and this is my OCD kicking in. There are a lot of artists that don't pay attention. I don't want to say they don't pay attention, it just doesn't bother them. But it does bother me. So we see our lines, our actual lines are going straight up and down. That is known as our texture heading. So our texture heading right now is 0 degrees. I want my texture heading to kind of be more in line with the pool, which I'm going to center in my polygon. Okay. So I'm going to select my polygon. Let's try maybe 10 degrees. And as you can see, that brought those lines more in line with our swimming pool. I'd be pissed if I paid somebody to come and pour me a patio around my swimming pool, and they came and sawed my concrete at angles that were just totally obscure from the pool itself. So little things like that I try to take into account. And we can go back here and let me pull up Let's see here. Oh. Okay. Alright, so let me go back here, view, 3D preview, show map area and preview window. Go back over here, turn this back on. There's our preview window. That's what we're working with so far. I can come over here, spin it around. Okay. So we're not too far off. It's a bigger ranch, kind of a patio awning thing on it, swimming pool with a patio around it as well. Okay. Go back over here, turn this back off. Alright, and then we'll go back into WED. I want a hanger. I don't want a very large hanger, but I don't necessarily want to draw a hanger either, not for this thing. There we go, that fits. Somewhat nicely. Yeah. Looking back at Google Earth, I can't tell if this structure over here is a separate structure or simply an awning. M. Stein, hello my friend. How are you? Welcome. Doing a little bit of a scenery design for X-Plane here. Killing some time waiting on my girlfriend to get off work. We had a scheduling thing, so we're not flying. So let's see. We got another building there. Let's try a shed. 10 shed, 10 by 30 light. Okay. So that kind of takes care of the footprint lengthwise. Widthwise, not so much. But that's alright. Doesn't really have to. Let's see here. If I put a wood shed. Okay. What if we move that there and put this wood shed right next to it? And that looks like that might cover that footprint relatively decently. And we will pop back into our 3D preview window and kind of see what it looks like. I think that might work. Yeah, might work alright. 5 Bravo 7. Why do I know that identifier? I feel like I flew into that airport relatively recently. 5 Bravo 7. I think it might have actually been on a wings rating flight from Boston. I mean, I don't know if I like the woodshed next to the hangar there. That does seem to satisfy our footprint. I could possibly space them apart just a little bit, make them look like two separate structures, side by side. Yep, alright. Let's draw our driveway. One dark light, that definitely looks like a dark driveway. Yep, that back part was added. So, we will make our dark there, there, there. We're just gonna draw it all the way down. There's going to be sometimes when you have a odd form of OCD, sometimes doing things like this can be time consuming, but you just want to make sure that you get it right. Because, you know, I do these for the X-Plane Scenery Gateway. It's not just for my enjoyment, for when new versions come out, but for everyone's enjoyment. And when doing them for everyone's enjoyment, I try my best to make sure that everyone will enjoy them. So, kind of looks like its driveway widens up a little bit, and then kind of curves around. For posterity purposes, we are making the driveway over here. And then leads back to here, and back to here, and then alright. This is our asphalt polygon, our kind of our main long road coming in from the main road. So I've got my polygon selected and highlighted. I'm going to hit Alt. What that does, that allows me to change the Bezier handles and sort of shape my polygon into the kind of form that I want it to take, as opposed to being sharp, jagged points. You can kind of round them out. If you overlap your Bezier handles, it will wipe out the polygon. So if you're tuning them and you notice your polygon has disappeared, then you have overlapped Okay. So there's sort of my polygon. Again, let's look at our texture heading. Magic numbers 33. It's always 33. It's my magic number. I'm curious there, basket. Well, tell you what, let's draw our next polygon. When we're going to use a light asphalt for this one, when you are drawing multiple polygons and you want to connect them, you need to make sure that you lock your polygon nodes together. And what I mean by that, I'll show you here. Let's say once we get over there. Okay. I'm going to go down here and zoom in really close. First thing you need to do is make sure up in the upper left hand side there's a checkbox that says snap to vertices. You need to make sure there's a check mark in there and not an X. What that allows you to do, once we get down here, we have our two polygons drawn. We zoom in, we'll select one. We'll grab a node and then connect it right to the next node of the other polygon. What that does is that joins our polygons together, and there is no little thin green line that would develop between the two if they were not connected. Again, let's change the heading on this one. We'll make this one 45. Now let's make this one, we'll just stick with 33. It's always a good number. And there she is. She is off at work now. So I think we're going to bring our project to a close. And have to finish this another night. So let's finish up this terrain polygon, and we'll see how it looks like in the preview window, and then we're probably going to have to close things up here. So let's select this one. We'll hit our press and hold our Alt key again, and again we're doing Control Z will undo anything you just did, and I want to kind of round out some of these corners. So it kind of has the it's kind of that rounded asphalt. You know, you don't see a whole lot of squared off edges and corners and asphalt. Alright, so we get our polygons built, and what else do we need to do real quick? Select our runway. We don't want it grass. We saw what this runway looked like. We want this runway to be dirt. Okay. And then over here on the right hand side is a specification for roughness. On a scale of 0 to 1.0 is the actual roughness of the runway. This one, we're going to make it 1.0. Let's chat. Hello, my friend. Welcome. Just getting ready to have to wrap things up here. But thanks for coming in for a little bit. We're working on a private airstrip that's closed here in central Ohio. And then what else do we want to do real quick while I'm thinking about it? Tell you what, let's go back over here. Let's go back here. It's not what I want. It's not what I want. There we go. go back and look at our Google Earth. No, this is still WED 2.4 because I'm still doing X-Plane 11 airports and X-Plane 12. So as soon as the gateway closes for X-Plane 11, I'll switch over to 2.5. What was I looking at? Oh, I was looking at the threshold. So if we zoom in here, we can tell that it looks like there's an X here. I don't know if that's some stone or you may not be able to see it. Let's try. Yeah. So it looks like there's an X there at the threshold. So let's go ahead and put that in real quick, and we'll save our project, and then I've got to jump off of here. Okay, so we'll minimize that. We'll bring this back up. Okay. So we're back here in WED. Let's grab us a concrete. Let's grab a concrete marker. Let's go 6L. Again, I prefer 6L for any sort of white concrete texture that I want. So I'm going to go down here. I'm going to make a little square. Yeah, close to a square. Remember the trick what I said about Control Q? Alright. So we've got a square, and I like that shape, I like that size. Let's go ahead and duplicate that. So we'll select it, we'll go over here to our marquee tool, Control Shift D, we'll duplicate it, and then we can move it where we want. Okay. WestJet, I am still working and learning in Blender. I have not done any personally. I guess I haven't spent as much time with Blender as necessary because the scenery gateway doesn't necessarily need Blender, and that's what I do airports for, is for default X-Plane. But I would like to learn it just to make custom objects for, like, when I fly events with like the Virtual USA Flying Club or the Pilot Club. You know, I like to be able to make some custom objects, maybe even for my home airport here. I don't like that. Let's see, texture. Alright, that looks better. And then I'll just make a few of those. Maybe like 1, 2, 3, 9 altogether. 4, 5. And then 6. 7. Eight, 9. All right. There's our X. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select all of those. Then I'm going to go over to Edit and Group, and those are all now in their nice little group, and I'm going to call them Closed X. Then I can work with that whole thing as one giant unit. And now what I can do is I can make that smaller. I can work with it bigger and make it smaller and move that whole thing more appropriately to where we used Google Earth as a visual aid. That is the key. Visual aid. Alright. Let's group our polygons together. So what I'm doing is I'm holding down Control and left clicking all of the polygons, edit, group, and we're going to call these polys. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll just group all of our objects together. Objects. Objects. Okay, and then boundary, I'm going to put boundary with the runway, and we're going to delete that default windsocks folder there, and we're going to rename this runway and boundary. We're going to move all of our groups down below our airport. Okay, so for now I'm going to lock this, lock it all. I'm going to save it. I'll export it for now. I'll export it locally, not to the scenery gateway. So then we'll go back here, I'll pull up our 3D preview window and see what we have real quick. So so we've got our pool, we've got our patio, light concrete or light asphalt, dark asphalt. We've got our hangar objects there. We've got our closed X. Alright. Well, that's it. That's all the time that I've got. Our project is saved. We're going to have to finish this project another time. Let's see who we can send you over to for this evening. But yeah, I think we got a decent start so far. So let's see. Right. Decisions. So, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna send you over to STW222, who's doing some GA flying with the Pilot Club out there in Colorado. I'm not sure how much longer he's gonna be going, but he is in Microsoft Flight Simulator. So until the next time, you all take care and stay safe, and thanks for coming in for a little bit of a scenery work and design. And like I said, we'll pick this one back up. I'm not sure yet. So until the next time, we'll see you later.